do we find it so difficult to revisit books? Whether they're books we've loved or books we've hated, why is it so hard to go back? Part of me thinks it's the Goodreads challenge and everyone wants to hit their magic numbers. Hi, I'm Leah and welcome to my 2018 ReReadathon TBR. I'm only going to talk about January to June in this video because I might just reassess my books come July. I would really like to thank Michael from Catalyst Reads for highlighting the importance of rereading and how we should continue to consider books we've read in the past. Now, one of my most rewarding reading experiences of 2017 was to reread My Place by Sally Morgan, an Australian memoir of a woman who didn't know she was an Aboriginal person until she was an adult, and that growth and discovery of that. And first time I read it, I was like, yeah, whatever, sort of ambivalent. And with maturity, with a broader reading sphere under my belt, I really appreciated the nuance and the importance of that book, not just in my reading life, but in Australian culture. So rereading was fabulous for me in 2017. So let's just start with January, and the prompt is to reread a favourite book. Now, my son is going into year 10, fourth form it can be called, and one of his prescribed texts is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper. So I will be rereading and revisiting that because I like to be able to have book discussions with my son. January should be a good reading year for me. Reading month for me. Now, February, the prompt is to reread a book from your school days, and I'm going to read Playing Beatie by Ruth Park, an Australian young adult book written in the early 80s, and my mum is so close to being a hoarder that she found my year 8 English book from 1980 whatevers and so it will be, I will be able to look back on my thoughts and notes and essays from that time, and I think that will be hilarious, if not mortifyingly embarrassing. Now, March is to reread a non-fiction book. Now, I have a number of non-fiction business type books on my shelf that I've read for business book clubs that I have participated in my local town. And so I'm actually thinking of doing a trash or treasure series and culling a lot of those books out. So I'm going to pick a few of those business, self-help, development type books and go through those and just do a trash or treasure. Is it worth keeping? Is it a treasure, or is it just trash that needs to go into the bin? So I'm very much looking forward to going through that series. Now, April is a book that you had mixed feelings about, and for that I'm going to choose Lincoln in the Bardo by George Saunders. Now, it is almost sacrilegious on BookTube to say that you didn't get along with Lincoln in the Bardo, and I have a feeling that it was the right book at the wrong time for me. So I am hoping, much like my Place reread in 2017, that this is going to be the time that I understand that Lincoln in the Bardo clicks with me. We'll wait and see on that. And in May, a guilty pleasure reread. Now, these are some of my favourites, and I'm going to be rereading throughout the course of the year some of the Phryne Fisher mysteries by Kerry, Greenwood. These are an Australian historical cozy mystery type series set in Melbourne in the 1920s, post World War I, and they are just a romp. They are delightful and definitely a guilty pleasure, and I like to think of them as a palate cleanser or an in-between book between more heavier, hard-hitting books. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Now, June is the prompt that I come to with great trepidation. When I did my HSC, my final year exams when I was at high school, Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy was one of the prescribed texts. Now, I have never read that book. I wrote my essay on it, thank goodness for crib notes, and I did very well in English as a subject, but oh my word, Thomas Hardy and I were not friends. So I am going to tackle the behemoth that is Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Those descriptions of the green hills that go on for 10 pages, we will see where that ends up. But Michael, thank you for this ReReadathon suggestion, and I think it is a wonderful, wonderful treat to revisit books, including the ones that I am trepidatious about. So are there any books you are looking forward to rereading, or some you actually are anxious to get to? Please talk to me in the comments, and I very much look forward to having this discussion. Have a fabulous day.